Task 7, Expressing Opinions. Here's a sample prompt to give you guys an idea of what Task 7 looks like. You have 30 seconds to prepare and 90 seconds to speak, which is why this is one of the longer ones you're going to have to do for the speaking, and some people find it kind of tricky to speak for 90 seconds. That's a minute and a half, which is a little bit unnatural. So as long as you prepare, you should get used to it before you have to do your test. So answer the following question. Do you think that young adults should pay rent to their parents if they do not move out by the age of 21? Explain your reasons. So the first thing to do is carefully read the prompt and understand the question. Think of whether you agree or disagree, and think of some reasons and examples. So for this one, make sure you read it very carefully, because sometimes I'll have students who start talking and their English is great and they make great points, but they don't clearly understand what the actual question is. So really read it well, make sure you understand it, and then spend that 30 seconds really just preparing what you want to say. It's not a lot of time, but again, practice makes perfect. So here's a note. You need to say yes or no, not maybe. So this is not time for you to give like a nuanced, complicated opinion on some issue. You only have, it's not a conversation. You only have a minute and a half. So pick yes or no. It's not yes, under these circumstances, let me explain to you how to implement this change. No. It's why you agree with something or you don't agree with something, and then why. So when the time begins, clearly state your opinion. So in this one, it's not like the other ones where you're talking to somebody, you're just talking, right? I don't think that young adults should pay rent to their parents after the age of 21 if they haven't moved out, and I'll explain why. So here we have a clear no answer, right? So then the third step is to state your reasons and explain them. You can't just say, oh, rent is really expensive. You have to say that and then back it up with supporting details and examples. Give examples and use cohesive devices, such as first of all, also, because, although. Here's my example. The first reason is that real estate in Canada is very expensive, and young adults can use this money to save up for their own home or condo if they aren't paying rent every month. You can't buy a condo for less than $500,000 here in Toronto, so it's more important now than ever to save every penny. Secondly, so my first reason is saving money, and I give some examples. As your time is ending, conclude with restating your opinion using different words. This is not absolutely important, because if you're saying like an amazing answer and then you're cut off, that's not the biggest problem in the world. It's better to end too late than too early. So if you don't do this, not the end of the world, especially if you're really making great points. But you can, if you do have some extra time, you could say something like, for those reasons, no, I don't agree that people over the age of 21 should be paying rent. And this is a really important note. You need to talk for the whole time. If you're thinking, no worries, just try to talk again as soon as you can. And this is the note that I put here. If you don't conclude, but cut off, giving another reason, that's okay. It's better to get cut off than to end too early. Like I've seen responses that have gotten a 10 mark, an 11 mark, a 12 mark, and the person just completely gets cut off. It's not the biggest deal. So that's it. Practice a lot and get feedback.